Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of Dom Mafia Live. Three major announcements. Number one, I finally figured out how to get my mic settings appropriate at the level that each and every single one of you deserve. All right. It took me a while, but from what I understand, and let me know in the chat if this does sound better. But from what I understand, I have the perfect mic settings. Everything should be sounding wonderful. Shout out to Shure, obviously. I'm not sponsored by these fools, but I just love the mic and I want to give them a shout out. We already understand that. Number two, yes, this is going to be the call-in show. I am going to be offering the link here in about 20 to 30 minutes, and I am going to poll Bills Mafia, see how they feel about the Buffalo Bills' current run, our status at the 1 seed, really just any sort of Q&A segment, which is super exciting. Let's get into it. And then final announcement, we have Z-Bot joining the show in about 5 minutes. We're just going to chop it up. We're going to talk a little ball here and there, and then we're going to go from there, baby. Do me a favor. Spam Go Bills in the chat immediately, and also roll call. Roll call, let me know where you are tuning in from. I'm always curious to see how far Bills Mafia truly extends. Yo, Swooty is coming in saying, LOL, Dan Mitchell is delusional. Yo, Swooty, you are 5 years removed from your mother's tit, okay? Respect your elders when you speak to them, or otherwise I am going to be 5 days away from hopping on your mother's tit. All right. So relax, respect your damn elders, baby. Holy hell. Guys, listen, this show is sponsored by BetUS. BetUS is hands down the number one sportsbook in the face of the planet. And I'm sure a lot of you are kind of wondering, Dan, what the hell is up with the MVP odds for our good friend Josh Allen? Well, let me tell you what, these odds have absolutely skyrocketed. You would have to bet probably close to $1,000 to win $1. That is obviously a massive exaggeration. That's just how excited I am when it comes into it. But let me see NFL honors predictions. Let me see college football, FBS, Super Bowl divisions, props. We already have that. Conferences, futures could potentially be there, but I'm going to keep going. Let me see. Draft season awards. There you go. Come on. Let's take a look at this MVP. Where are we at right here? We have coach of the year, blah, blah, blah. We don't give a shit about that. Rookie, offensive rookie of the year award winner. MVP award winner, minus 1,000, ladies and gentlemen. We already know. We already know precisely what this is looking like right now, folks. Josh Allen, minus 1,000 favorite. If you are feeling feisty on this, ladies and gentlemen, BetUS is matching 150% of your first deposit all the way up to $2,000 and 125% of your second and your third up to the exact same figure. If, for example, you want to take advantage of this promo, just simply use code YouTube150 and you will not be disappointed, man. BetUS has been a proud sponsor of this show for quite some time, and I am so excited to make them a continued partner over on the Dan Mitchell YouTube channel. Let's see what is going on. Roll call in the chat immediately, folks. Let me know where you are tuning in from. We have Go Bills from Cheek to Vegas, Andy Johnson. My guy, Andy Johnson. He's looking forward to this call-in segment. So am I. Am I the only person who literally tears of joy once the Bills make it to the Super Bowl? Yes, most definitely. Most definitely. I am not even going to begin to explain what would happen if that was the case, if we ended up making it happen. We have Go Bills, Buffalo, New York. MFF Gaming is in the chat. He's doing his thing. Absolutely love that. Go Bills from Broom Closet at Work. Couldn't miss Dan. John Partolo. He is taking an impromptu break. He's having a quote-unquote smoke break, if you will. And here he is. I can definitely appreciate this. How about those new unis, though? The red-white combinations. I'm absolutely loving it. Normally, it's exclusively a color rush, but now we're just getting interesting, right? Soon as when the Buffalo Bills organization didn't think that they could wow us anymore, they end up throwing out a damn new uniform combo. I think this might be my favorite. Surprisingly enough, I think this might be my new favorite uniform combination that we have seen from this squad. I didn't think anything would have beaten the blue and whites, baby. But here we are, red top, white pants. Get out of here, man. We already know what it is. I can tell you that whoever made this decision must have been riding with that uniform combo on damn Madden for the longest time, and we already know what it is. Go Bills from Northport, Florida. Robert Sisson, what is going on? It's good to see you back, my friend. We have Arkansas in the chat. Robert, hope all is well out in Arkansas. Great duck hunting out there. I'm not sure if you're a duck hunter, but that is duck hunting heaven out in the great state of Arkansas, my friend. Hey, brother, you already know from the 716 to the UK, Go Bills. Billy Talon, listen, this is my guy right here. He has been giving me a lot of advice on audio. Let me know, my friend. I think that I finally have the correct settings for this mic. I tested it out on the Shure Mix app, but I just want to make sure that I have it because he's typically my audio guy that gives me a lot of advice, and I would love to hear his feedback. If it's not up to his standards, I have to go back to the drawing board, but something that could be interesting. Sounding good, my dude. Thank you. Good God. Thank you. I have been battling with this software for a long time, and I'm glad I finally ended up getting it right. All right, we have Freak Show rolling on in. Uni Combo is absolutely fire. I'm not sure about you guys, but again, I think this might be my favorite uniform combination of all time. Bring back the red helmets, and I suppose there's going to be a million other possibilities that I will like. We have all red uniforms, right? Sean, no, absolutely. Listen, man, do me a favor and hide each and every single bottle of lotion and tissues you have in your house because I guarantee you are about to go absolutely insane with what we're going to be looking at right now, okay? Let me show you what the Buffalo Bills are about to be rocking against the New England Patriots on damn Sunday. All right. So watch out and do whatever you can to refrain from rubbing one out. But this is the uniform combination that Buffalo is going to be running out with on Sunday. My new favorite. I don't think this has ever been done before. And I am as thrilled as each and every single one of you. But yeah, guys, listen, topic of the day. Can the Buffalo Bills, are they destined for the 1 seed? And I'll go on ahead and give my take. Obviously, once Z-Bot ends up rolling on in, I will ask his thoughts on the overall matter. But here's the deal, guys, right? Like, we have Patrick Mahomes. He has a low ankle sprain. All they need to do is drop 2, and the Buffalo Bills end up winning out. Here's the question that remains to be seen or asked. Can this Kansas City Chiefs team have the balls to start Carson Wentz for the next couple of games, right? Because, listen, these next couple of games that Kansas City has in front of them, where we're looking at 3 incredible defenses. We have the Houston Texans, who I would say is one of the few bright spots of that organization. Number 2, you have the Pittsburgh Steelers defense. And number 3, you have the Denver Broncos defense. So if I'm the Kansas City Chiefs, I'm not risking Patrick Mahomes, especially going into the damn playoffs. I'm saying, fuck that 1 seed. We already know how we perform in the playoffs. Let's preserve our guy. And obviously, Buffalo needs to go on ahead and just win out for those remaining 3 games. That's my take. But I'll tell you what, we have a lot to unpack on today's episode. Spam Go Bills in the chat. Spam Z-Bot in the chat because we are welcoming my dude onto the show. Good morning. Dude, what up?
So I'm thinking about what you're saying right there. It's interesting because it's a tough spot to be in if you're the Chiefs, I think, considering what you want to do with Mahomes. But as I was listening to you talk, the one thing you have to consider with them that I think is the biggest point of it all when it comes to what you want to do with Mahomes in this situation, the 3 games in 11 days.
I know.
That's what they're about to go into.
Yeah.
So not only is he banged up, and you might want to consider preserving him for the playoffs, of course. 3 games in 11 days, that's tough, healthy. If he's banged up right now. So I'm interested. But from what I've heard, he's good. It looks like he's going to go. I doubt that they sit him on the bench.
See, obviously, like, we are not going to wish injury on anybody. And I know that this Kansas City Chiefs team wants the 1 seed. They want the AFC Championship to go through Arrowhead. But again, dude, like, it's tough. Like, I would say that they are probably going up against 3 of the top 5 defenses in the NFL for a variety of different reasons. But then I could also see, like, oh, shit, like, do we really want to start Carson Wentz against Houston? Like, this secondary is insane. We have Derek Stingley out there, like, averaging like 2 interceptions each and every single game, right? I mean, not saying that Patrick Mahomes wouldn't do that, but it's the pass rushes that scare me. I even think that these games are going to be closer, and I think this wraps up around the entire question. Have you still have faith that this Buffalo Bills team can get this 1 seed, or are you basically just accepting the fact that we're probably going to get the 2 seed? And we can hope that maybe Kansas City ends up getting bashed in the first or the second round right before we end up seeing them.
Yeah, I've pretty much I've stopped thinking about the 1 seed. I guess is the best way to put it. I have. I haven't really ever since they lost to the Rams and then the Chiefs pull it out on that doink. I just kind of it kind of became a afterthought. Yeah, and then when I started to consider what could come of the 2 seed in terms of the matchups, it hasn't been like this oh my God, we got to get the 1 seed type feeling on my end.
Right.
I'd love it. I would love to have it, of course. I mean,
Yeah.
we don't know what that would be like for Allen. We haven't had it yet. We haven't had that bye, so we have no idea what that
Yeah.
could mean for this team. But in terms of the idea that it's going to happen, I still think there's a possibility. I don't know why my gut's telling me Pittsburgh at home on Christmas Day. There's just something about that matchup I don't like for Kansas City.
Me too.
And then Denver had their number, Dan, a few weeks, or I guess over a month ago now. But I mean, that game came down to that block kick. This time it's in Denver, and Denver will be playing for playoff seeding in that final week. And then I don't want to overlook Houston either. I don't know what Houston is right now. They're more of a defensive team, like you were talking about now, than they are offensive, which is weird to think about. But they shut down Miami this past week. Oh, my God. I mean, once again, Tua in a big spot. What else is new? But it was still Houston's defense coming up huge in that game. These are 3 tough games for Kansas City, all within 11 days and all within a time span where you're talking about a team that is currently not playing their best football. Now they have to factor that in with a banged-up Mahomes. Meanwhile, the Bills are playing the Jets twice and the Patriots. I'm not giving up hope, Dan. It's just that I'm not like dead laser focused on it like I think I was a couple of weeks ago.
See, you said something interesting that like you're not even necessarily scared of the path if the playoffs were to start today from the 2nd seed, right? And we are all sitting here automatically assuming that Kansas City is going to make it to the AFC Championship, right? And I guess it's not completely out of left field, like they've been there for, I don't know, like the past 3-4 years, all right? Back-to-back Super Bowl champions. It's just a part of their DNA. It's something that we have all decided to really accept at this point.
Yeah.
But I do find this interesting, right? Because I don't think the path is that scary. I think that if the playoffs were to start right now, and I'm kind of worried about the Chargers, especially dropping 2 in a row, but we'll see if they can finish out strong.
You're worried about playing them, or you're worried about them making it?
So about them making it.
I got you. Yeah,
so
I know.
Start off from there. But I think it's safe to say that it's either going to be Denver or LA, but we can just assume that it's LA, right? I think that Buffalo should be able to take care of this team, in my opinion. And then
Dan, Baker just put up 40 on him, and they held him to 17. Exactly. If the Bills lose that one, exactly, I couldn't imagine it. No doubt.
Exactly. I have the Ravens absolutely stomping the Houston Texans. And that's, of course, if Baltimore does end up going on a rally and Pittsburgh ends up completely shitting the bed and going in there. But have you not? Steelers would end up beating the Denver Broncos. So that would mean that our divisional round would be against Pittsburgh, and Kansas City would have to take care of Baltimore during their first game after the fact. If Baltimore pulls out like this win against Kansas City, fantastic. That means that we host the AFC Championship, right? But say, for example, that Kansas City beats Baltimore, we end up going to Kansas City, and it's not like that our offense doesn't always show out each and every single time that we enter that stadium. So I feel confident, dude. Even with the 2nd seed, I like this path. I think it's favorable.
It's a really bad draw for Kansas City as a 1 seed to get Baltimore in the first round in the divisional there. No, Dan, that path, I mean, because anybody can take this out of context. It's not saying, oh, I want to play Kansas City. Oh, I want to play Pittsburgh. But when you're talking about potential matchups based on what the playoffs are shaping out to be, I don't know if you would come up with a better path to the Super Bowl than the Bills playing either the Chargers at home, whose offense cannot score more than 20 points. They just cannot score. They got nothing. And now that Dobbins has been hurt, I mean, Dan, their offense, they just can't do anything. And you saw what Baker Mayfield was able to do on Sunday. And I know the Bucs have a real potent offense, but the Bills have the most potent offense in the sport right now. So I like our chances there. And then Pittsburgh, I have a lot of respect for Mike Tomlin in Pittsburgh, a ton. But we know what that team has been come the postseason. And we saw them play Philadelphia on Sunday, and that's the kind of vibe you get from Pittsburgh, right? Where it's you don't want to see them if you don't have to. But you like your chances in that spot, much like you saw on Sunday with Philadelphia. It's just they seem to be outmatched against the cream of the crop. I feel like Pittsburgh's right below that, a step below that. So you get that at home. Both games at home, by the way. The Bills haven't lost at home all year long. And then that would be your path to the AFC Championship. And from there, it's either Baltimore or Kansas City. And I think right now, matchup wise, the Bills are built to play the Chiefs. I don't know if they're built to play the Ravens, but in terms of getting to the AFC Championship, Dan, if it winds up being the 2 seed, I think both games are in the favor of the Bills. And I think in terms of paths, that's something that you'd probably sign up for.
Yeah. And so say, for example, it does ultimately end up being a game like Ravens and Bills in the AFC Championship. At least we're at home.
Right.
At least we're at home and we have that advantage. So, I mean, listen, dude, I'm not sure about you, but I've been sky high since Sunday. I have been absolutely sky high. We went down there. Josh Allen and crew hung sack all over Ford Field, put up 48 damn points. And you know what, my friend? I'm not sure how you feel about the defense because obviously I'm seeing a lot of people, like some people that are still like a bit pessimistic about the defense. I've been pointing out, I'm like, look, I don't think anyone on this earth anticipated that this Bills defense was going to hold the number 1 scoring offense in the NFL to 20-something points. But what I did point out that I did like was that we ended up making the stops that ended up being the turning point in the game for the Bills. And that was forcing a punt for the first 2 drives of the Detroit Lions. That was massive because it gave us the cushion that we almost didn't even look back from. And then obviously that turnover from Amon-Ra St. Brown later on into the game. Now, yes, some of the injuries are upsetting. However, my overall thought process is, yes, we have given up quite a few points from 2 NFC opponents. But I look back and I try to put myself in Sean McDermott's shoes during that 4th quarter. And I was thinking what was potentially going through his mind was just that, like, all right, my number 1 priority here is the chew clock. Like, that is my number 1 priority because Josh Allen's going out there and he's doing absolutely everything that he can. At the time, we had a 2 to 3 score lead at the point. I don't think that we should look at that 4th quarter against the Detroit Lions and be like, okay, we should sound the alarm bells at this point. I think that that was just a strategy and that was just a soft zone sort of situation. Sure, we can allow Detroit to march down the field on us, but it's going to take about 4 to 5 minutes off of the clock each and every single time. Thoughts on our defense? Have you been starting to ring some alarm bells at this point? Or do you think that there's more to the picture that people aren't seeing?
I have a similar view as you do. Now, the soft zone at the end there, I hate it. I guess I don't know why I just don't. I know. I don't get it. It feels like every time they're in that position, they do the same thing. It's reminiscent to me of the 13-second game. And it's reminiscent to me once again of last week, 2 weeks ago now against the Rams on that 3rd and 17. It was soft zone to protect the first down marker. It wasn't defense that was structured to keep them in front of the first down line. What I mean by that is they opened up the entire middle of the field as if they weren't going to try to get into field goal range or to make that 4th down easier. They took away the first down, but because of that, they gave them 12 yards. That set up the first down to be infinitely easier for them on that 4th and 5, as opposed to trying to keep them towards the line of scrimmage and either force them into making the field goal or a really difficult 4th down. So I don't like that element of it, but I do see what you're saying. And I do think I kind of understand the mindset behind it when you're up as much as you are. I'd still like to see some aggressiveness at the end there and not go away from what you had working. But what you said, I agree with 100%. And that's the big play. That is what they did on Sunday that they could not do against the Rams. That was the ultimate difference. Against the Rams, no sacks, no turnovers forced. If the defense is going to allow teams to move the ball on them the way that they have, what they've done very well, which is why the Bills have one of the best turnover differentials in the league, what they've done incredibly well is in the pursuit of the bend there, where they've bent all year long defensively, they've rarely broken, and they haven't broken quite like they have the last 2 weeks. They've been able to force turnovers. They've been able to get sacks on the quarterback. When they weren't able to do that against Matthew Stafford, well, you saw the result. They just couldn't keep up. They couldn't flip possession and allow the Bills offense to regain control of the pace of the football game or take the lead. Against Detroit, early on in that ball game, Dan, 2 consecutive 3-and-outs, which then allowed the Bills to go up 14 points. From there, the Bills were able to dictate the football game. When the Bills against the Rams allowed the block punt for a touchdown, the Rams were in full control of that football game, up by 2 scores. So the ability, despite the fact that you allowed as many points as you did this past week, which there's really no excuse for it, the ability to have gotten multiple sacks and forced that fumble was a significant increase in, I think, play from what we saw against the Rams. These Lions had 21 points going into the fourth quarter. It was not a stellar day defensively, but here's how I see these Bills right now. They're not going to win games if Josh Allen doesn't play terrific football. All you need from the defense is to allow Josh Allen to have one or two more possessions than the other team. So if the Bills are going to allow what they're allowing right now, it's probably going to happen against the top offenses in the league. Can they make that one play, Dan? Can they force that sack on third down and get the punt? Can they force that fumble? If they can, I think the Bills win. That's just how good this offense is right now. So my concern with the defense, it's not so much allowing teams to go up and down the field on them. It's just, can they step up in those 1, 2, 3 moments throughout the game that ultimately end up being the difference? They did that on Sunday, and I think that ended up being the difference.
Well, so now what you're doing is you're definitely adding some like doubt in my mind, because I'm like, damn, like right now, Josh Allen and many of the media heads are even agreeing at this point that he's playing the position better than anybody that has ever played the position within these past couple of games, right? He's playing well. He's playing lights out. But I think I always had that question in the back of my head. I'm like, damn, how sustainable is this?
Right.
How many more games can we expect that Josh is going to go out there and play like this lights out, like MVP sort of performances, and not expect him to have a game like perhaps he had against the Houston Texans, like maybe with earlier within that season? I don't know, man.
So how I see it, right, Dan, if Allen's going to play like he did against Houston, I mean, think about it. The Bills defense only allowed Houston 23 points in that game. They shut him down in the second half. Nico Collins had that bomb for a touchdown. They didn't do anything after that, but the Bills offense was terrible. So that's my whole point. If the Bills offense isn't going to be what we've come to expect from them over the last 2 months, they're probably not going to win many games. So to me, if the game is going to be relying on the defense, that's where the Bills are going to wind up losing football games. You can't really have your team built to win on both sides of the ball like that. How many teams right now in the league can be reliant on both units to save the game if the other unit doesn't show up? The only team I think right now maybe has an argument is the Philadelphia Eagles. I think that's the one team right now where you could argue both sides of the ball are playing about equal, and they're both playing exceptionally well. But in terms of the sustainability that you're talking about, Dan, I've been having the same doubts. We're going on. This will be the 9th straight week should they score 30 points against New England. That would break an NFL record. Right now, the Bills are tied for the most consecutive 30-point games in a row.
Interesting.
Tied. 8 is tied for the record. 9 would break it this upcoming week. So if we're talking about sustainability, I would be just as concerned as you are if this was the only 3 games the Bills have showed us this throughout the year. Dude, we're going on like 2.5 months of this. And all we know about Josh Allen when he gets into the postseason, outside of that awful Bengals game where the whole team didn't show up, when has Allen not showed up? So I'm not there. And this is coming from somebody who gets there quite easily because we're Bills fans. It's easy to kind of go down that path of pessimism. I'm just not there, Dan. They've been showing it way too, and it's the ease of it. The ease of it is what's killing me. Like Allen and this offense right now is just on a whole other level. I have no concerns right now, and I don't know how I'm going to get there. Even a stinker this upcoming week, should they not show up to their full potential against New England, I'm just not there. I expect the most out of these guys, and they're delivering.
Yeah. And so it is what it is, man. Listen, I do want to be conscious of your time because you said you had like a time limit right here. So last question to you. We'll send you off. And by the way, man, we really appreciate you coming on.
Pleasure's mine as always, brother.
Hanging out with us this morning right here. But all right, like we've been like sort of teasing the fact that we think this is the best Buffalo Bills team in NFL history, in Bills history, right? Like at first we were sort of tiptoeing around this is the best roster that we have seen since Sean McDermott being, and then also with Josh Allen ended up taking over. And now I'm talking to a lot of people that grew up in the 90s, right? And I would say about 70% of them are kind of on the page right now. It's like, look, like we understand that we ended up making it to the Super Bowl 4 years in a row. But from what we're seeing, this roster is the best ever put together that we have seen. And they are feeling that same sense, that same gut feeling they had during those years. Where do you stand on that? As far as this roster, as far as this coaching staff, is this the best Buffalo Bills team in Bills history?
Rico and I had this conversation after the Lions game the other day, and same experience where the chat was kind of just eating each other alive. One side on the fence of this being the best, The other side of the fence being the 90s team. I wasn't alive for that 90s team. So all I can speak to is what I've been alive for. Unquestionably the best team of my lifetime. Here's where I don't think, I mean, here's where you can have a legitimate argument, I think. I don't know if it's the best roster, just because defensively right now, I don't think you can pair that up against, the Bruce Smith led defense of the world back in the 90s. I just don't know if that's a fair comparison. Offensively, though, I mean, we're talking about generational type stuff right now. Like I just mentioned, that they just tied the record for most consecutive 30-point games. Josh Allen's breaking a record every single week here, sometimes multiple. I think there's a legitimate argument that this is the best offense the Bills have ever had. You can make an argument this is one of the best offenses we've seen in recent memory here. I mean, that's truly, it's really, that's why everyone's talking about Allen the way that they are. We're watching some pretty historic stuff go down here. So in trying to compare it, here's where we kind of boiled it down to. The fact, Dan, that we're even having this conversation going into week 16, that just ends the argument in itself to me, because nobody thought, if you would have told me first week of September, hey, going into week 16, the fan base will be divided as to whether or not the 2024 Bills were the best team that this franchise has ever fielded, I would have said you were lying to me. There's just no way. I can't foresee it. I can't see it.
Expectations.
What I think it might be, Dan, I think it might be the most cohesive that they've been. Because when you're talking about the best roster, I think a lot of times people immediately go to personnel and they immediately go to household names, star power. The Bills don't have that. But in terms of the cohesion, could it be any better? Last week against the Rams, you had 42 points scored in 21 minutes, and Amari Cooper and Khalil Shakir led the way. And Amari Cooper had a big day. I think he had 11 targets. This past week, you score 48 points, and Amari Cooper doesn't have a target. That's cohesion. When you have a squad that can step up in a multitude of different areas, scoring 48 points one week without a target to Amari Cooper, scoring 42 points where he has 11 targets, it's the multitude of ways that they can do it right now. They weren't able to do that with the Stephon Diggs era Buffalo Bills. And I think it's because you had different sets of priorities that I think are out the window right now, because this team, it doesn't matter who's getting the stats, doesn't matter who's getting the ball. I mean, Dan, against the Jets, it was Ray Davis's night. Yeah. Multiple times this year, it's been James Cook's night. And then if you would have told me, hey, going against the Lions, it's going to be the Ty Johnson game.
At RB3, wide receiver one.
Dude, 5 catches for well over 100 yards. And, dude, those weren't like swing passes at the line of scrimmage. Those were dimes that were over-the-shoulder balls that he caught. So in terms of like trying to figure out what this Bills team is, I think it's certainly the best in my lifetime. But I think there's an argument that it's comparing it to the 90s. If it's not better than that, I think the argument might be it is the most well-balanced team that they've ever had. Because you can do it everywhere right now with these guys.
Yeah, it's pretty damn close, man. That is for sure. I'll tell you what, Z-Bot, I know that you got a busy day ahead of you.
Oh, so I wish I didn't, but I do. Yes, unfortunately.
No, man. No issue. We're going to have you on soon, because definitely a lot of other topics were going into my head that we have to cover later on, man. But I definitely appreciate you for tuning in, my guys. Definitely go check out Z-Bot over on Buffalo Fanatics. Him and Rico have the most entertaining Bill show on the internet. I promise you that.
Dan, you're the man as always. Appreciate you having me on, and we will talk after the Patriots W.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely, all right, brother. Man. Talk to you
soon. Peace. That's my guy. That's my guy, Z-Bot. All right. Buffalo Fanatics. Highly recommend that you go on over there and show them a little bit of love. Great job over there. Guys, as promised, all right, we are about to do a call-in segment for the next half hour. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pin the StreamYard link to the top of this chat. So I do want to be mindful of everybody's time. So we're going to keep it around 2 to 3 minutes, each and every single person. Just give me your take. Just give me your thoughts about the status of everything. If you have questions for me, you're more than welcome to hop onto the show as well. Very excited about that, guys. But smash that like button. Let's get this over to 200 likes. I know that we can certainly get there, guys. I'm going to go on ahead and put the link. I'm going to pin it to the top of the chat right now. And then hopefully you guys aren't so shy and you come on in and we have a nice little conversation. All right, here, let me wait for this to go. Let's go call in. Bang. All right, guys, we have this in the chat. I'm going to go ahead and pin this in the chat right now. feel free to go on ahead and then rip that up. And by the way, there is only 70 like buttons smashed right now, folks. Hit that thumbs up sign. We have to get over 150 easily. 150 needs to be smashed by the time that it comes in. So, folks, certainly go on ahead and join the call-in segment. Come on in, ask me a question, give me your take about this Buffalo Bills team. We are so excited to unpack a lot of what we have to do. Josh is better than Kelly, but Kelly had the Terminator. Facts, Elliot. Mr. West Ashley is rolling on in. LX LeBron, speaking of which, my dude.
What's going on, bro? What's up, dog?
So you're from Charleston?
Yeah, I'm in Charleston, South Carolina.
I love Charleston, man. I actually ended up growing up in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, so not too far away, but super.
Yeah.
Small world. It's awesome.
Myrtle Beach is. Yeah, bro. I heard you say that one time, and I had to give you props for that. Myrtle Beach is pretty cool, man.
Yay!
I'm on my morning walk right now through West Ashley, so I just thought I'll call in.
Yeah, man. Hey, dude, I really appreciate you coming on in. I definitely appreciate you always being a listener onto the show. I saw you in the chat, man, and you're not convinced that the 2024 Buffalo Bills are even close to the 90s, right? Is what you're saying.
No, hell no. I've been a fan since I've been a Bills fan since 91, bro. I was in it's funny how I got when Buffalo missed the field goal versus the Giants in the Super Bowl. Everybody at school was talking shit. So I just picked Buffalo to be different than everybody in school. So I had to stick with them. But 90s NFL was way different, bro. Like, it was way harder. People used to get demolished. Like Josh Allen couldn't run like he does now in the 90s. If you slide, they're still going to hit you, you know? The 90s was just different. The NFL is kind of soft compared to what it used to be.
Yeah, you're right. Because, like, let's actually reflect on all the new penalties that are out there that didn't exist in the 90s, right? Like, now you have the horse collar penalty. That didn't exist back in the 90s. Roughing the passer did not exist back in the 90s. I suppose you have a point there. I really do.
Yeah. I don't know if you're breaking up or not, but I heard a little bit of what you said. But yeah. I like this 2024 Bills. We're very talented. We got a lot of depth. We got a lot of players, but the 90s was just different, man. It was it's like when you play Madden on easy mode, like on rookie mode. That's what's going on now. Back then, Madden is like all Madden. In the 90s, it was on all Madden all the time, you know?
Yeah, no, man. I totally understand that. But, like, all right, so overall thoughts, like, on this team, is this the most confident that you have been in a Buffalo Bills team? So to actually end up making the full run all the way down to New Orleans, or still have a little bit of doubt?
Yeah. No, for a long time. Remember, Buffalo used to suck forever. My whole life, pretty much, we sucked. Recently, we got good when Sean McDermott came. I kind of knew we were going to start being good because, you know, we got new ownership. I think back in the day, the NFL didn't really like Ralph Wilson like that. So we never really got the calls. You know, we never really, you know, got the extra love from the football guys. So when we got Pagula, I kind of knew we were going to start doing good. Sean McDermott got us a nice squad forever. I'm real confident right now. We're good, but you know, we just got a little stuff to tweak. And you know what my thing is? Lately we've been talking about the Bills defense.
Yeah.
But that's only lately, bro. Like Buffalo defense, we've been good, bro. We've been holding teams to like 10 points. You know what I mean? We've been beating teams like 30 to 12 or whatever. I think, and I know y'all hate me saying this. Buffalo's defense only started sucking. Buffalo's defense only started sucking when Matt Milano came back, bro. And that's really the simple fix.
Oh, just put Dorian back out there. Right?
That's really it, bro.
Put Dorian back. Oh, man. Well, Mr. West.
Yeah, no, I mean,
Oh, man. Well, Mr. West Ashley, man, we appreciate you coming on, man. I got a couple more callers I want to get to, bro, but I really appreciate you for coming on in. Go Bills,
All
my
right,
friend, and I
homie.
hope
Take
you
care,
well on
bro.
the next show. Yeah, man. You as well. You as well. Shout out my guy, Mr. West Ashley, coming on into the show and rocking it in. Folks, listen, we have quite a few callers in the backstage. If you want to come in and ask me a question, you give me your takes, hop on in. And a fan favorite, what is going on? Andy Johnson.
What's going on,
What's
Dan?
up? Dude, please tell me that like you didn't think you were in like a multiverse yesterday when we saw TD Finstock arguing that Josh Allen was better than Patrick
with
Mahomes.
TD. It's literally disgusting that I have to agree with TD.
Right?
I had to take Tums this morning. It was so bad.
Dude, honestly, man, like I didn't even believe like what I was hearing. I was just like, man, like, and so am I drunk? And so did someone
I was ready
drug
to punch
me?
Richie in the face yesterday.
Oh, dude. Chat. All right, listen, say that you haven't heard anything. We had Richie go on a tangent saying that Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes aren't even close, which pisses me off. I'm okay if people say that Patrick Mahomes is better. All right. But if you're trying to tell me that it's not even fucking close, give me a break, fool.
When Kobe said that Mahomes is more clutch, how many times has Josh Allen literally left the field with a fucking lead and lost the fucking game?
Yo, listen, let me tell you what, man. His fourth quarter comebacks, his game-winning drives are aligned, and Patrick Mahomes ended up playing one more full year than Josh Allen. And Josh Allen has more total touchdowns, and he played one last year. So don't give me that whole thing. Oh, Super Bowl trophies, Super Bowl trophies. That's a team accomplishment, fool. That's a team
about to have
You're getting me fired
years.
up.
Josh is about to have 5 straight years of 40-plus touchdowns.
I know.
First in league history to do that.
He's 3 away from doing it again. We have 3 games left. And you know we're going to do it against the Pats twice and the Jets. Come on.
He's probably going to get it this game. Coming game. And like I said, Kobe saying, oh, well, Patrick Mahomes has been more clutch in the playoffs. No, he's had the ball last. Think of the 13 seconds game. How many lead changes were in the final 2 minutes?
That's what I'm saying.
Josh left the field twice in the final 2 minutes with a lead. Defense couldn't do shit. But we're gonna fault Josh for that, even though he took the lead each time.
Dude, you know what, man? Like he made a lot of enemies in Bills Mafia. Don't worry, we're gonna be having conversations with Richie today on the huddle. Make no mistake.
I will be there tomorrow night. Richie is going to hear it from me.
How rock hard were you when the Buffalo Bills beat the Lions on Sunday?
Oh, it was fucking great.
My God, dude, it was a non-contact ejaculation for you, boy. It was insane. Watching Josh go down there, hang sack, do his damn thing. Where's your mindset right now? Like, are you like Bills are going to the Super Bowl, bar none? Like, we're winning the whole thing. Like, where's your confidence level right now with this team?
Extremely high, and I have no reason not to be.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
17's on the field, there's a chance we're winning. I don't give a fuck who it's against. It doesn't matter if it's against Lamar, Burrow, fucking Mahomes. It don't matter.
It's like that right there is like really what Z-Bot ended up pointing out that I had no idea. He was just like, we were about to break an NFL record for most games with consecutive 30 points. Absolutely insane. And that's all led with that. I think we can all agree that they should just mail the MVP trophy over to Josh Allen immediately right now. See how that all plays out. But fucking, I'm pumped right now.
Like, they want to bring up like Josh has finished second in MVP voting for like the last 3 years, but yet he's had better stats than Lamar both times he won the fucking MVP.
It's crazy. It's crazy, man. You have no idea. Andy. So I love you, brother. And so I appreciate you coming on.
No problem. See you soon.
We will see you on Wednesday, and then hopefully you cut into Richie because I'm going to be bullying Richie.
I'm going to.
Perfect.
And one more thing. When we win the Super Bowl, you need to make sure that those assholes are there Thursday night when we raise our fucking banner.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, most definitely. The AFC's roundtable event in Buffalo will be week 1 when we raise our fucking banner, and I'm going to hold their eyelids open as they watch it.
I'll help.
Right? Absolutely. All right, brother. I appreciate you for coming on. Thank you so much. Guys, shout out to all the homies coming in and calling in, baby. I love this part of the segment as we welcome in. What's up, man?
What's going on, Dan? Blue
What's
Buffalo
up,
here.
What's your name?
Blue Buffalo 21. I made that little comment yesterday that Richie was laughing because I actually agreed with TD and what he was saying about Josh being better. Josh, if you have eyes, is better than Patrick Mahomes.
Right.
Now, if you look at it, like all the chats that were coming in were saying that Patrick Mahomes was put in a better position.
Yeah.
He was.
Yes.
Josh Allen got drafted to the Bills after the first year that we made the playoffs as a wild card team to break the 17-year drought.
Yeah. And it
My
was
man.
a fucking dumpster fire when he came. We had Nathan
Exactly.
Peterman starting for this damn team.
Exactly. Like, come on, bro. I mean, Josh Allen hurdles defenders, stiffs arm defenders, jukes defenders out of their cleats, left and right throws bodies. I'm talking about 1, 2, 3 guys at a time. When Patrick Mahomes cannot do that at all. At all. If anything, Patrick Mahomes scrambles and he runs out of bounds.
Yeah.
Josh was scramble, and if he sees a defender in his way, guess what? He's plowing his ass right over.
Yeah. No, man. Like, so I've had this take a couple of times, and like everyone loves bringing up all the turnovers that he's had. Well, number one, he's fixed that entirely this year.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that people just like love assigning a past narrative onto a guy, but like, let's be completely honest with ourselves. And I know someone's going to say, oh, well, he won a ring last year, blah, blah, blah. Listen, he's one of 53 players on that squad. This is a team sport. Super Bowls are a team accomplishment. He hasn't looked like early Patrick Mahomes in 2 years. Like his stats have not been ideal. He has been aligned with Josh Allen's interceptions and turnovers for the past 2 or 3 years as well. Him and Josh, like difference is like 1 or 2 picks for the past 3 years. Now it's significantly massive gap. But yeah, most definitely. That conversation got me heated. I didn't realize
yesterday. No. I was agreeing with TD where he was saying that Josh is better.
Yeah.
I mean, his attributes, his physicality, his throwing, everything is actually better than Patrick Mahomes. It's just people just like how you and TD were saying, people like to, because Patrick Mahomes has three Super Bowls, that they automatically considered him to be the best quarterback ever now, ever since Tom Brady has retired. It's just absurd that you see Josh, being a Bills fan, does way much more than Patrick Mahomes has to, and he doesn't get the credit that he's deserved.
So I think this conversation goes twofold for me, right? Like right now where it stands, I would probably still have Pat Mahomes slightly above Josh, right? In 2024, bar none, with Josh Allen is a better quarterback than Patrick Mahomes in 2024.
Oh, yeah.
Bar none. But then what pisses me off, and like I just admitted, I still think Pat Mahomes is slightly better than Josh. But what pisses me off is that people are trying to go out there and say that it's not even close. It's a country mile difference. That's what pisses me off. It's close. It's very close.
The way I look at it as is if being an NFL football fan or just at the NFL itself, right?
Yeah.
They've always had to have a face of the NFL.
Yeah.
So as Brady's making his transition to retire, right? Who was the next quarterback to be like next to his level? Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's where you get a lot of people saying that Patrick Mahomes is better. It's because the NFL pushes that narrative. This is the face of the NFL today. And he's not. Josh is a better player.
Yeah.
He just doesn't have the Super Bowls yet to put him on the top of the top.
Yeah. No, yeah, man. Listen, I totally understand, but you know what? I feel like no one's going to take us seriously until we ultimately end up bringing that hardware home. But I think this is the year, Blue Buffalo. I'm feeling it.
And one more thing before I go. The 90s teams, I was able to grow up and watch them, and I would have to say, if we had Josh Allen on that squad back then rather than Jim Kelly, and that's not to take away from Jim Kelly. Jim Kelly, he's our Hall of Fame quarterback regardless.
Yeah.
But Josh is capable of moving and doing things that Jim Kelly wasn't able to.
Yeah.
So if we had Josh on those squads, dude, we would be a 4-time Super Bowl champ in a row.
It's a heavy take, man. That's a heavy take, Blue Buffalo. I appreciate you for coming on, man. Have a couple of extra callers to come in, dude. Really hope you come on again soon.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
No problem, man. You enjoy the rest of your day. Peace. Solid takes right there, man. Listen, I love this segment. You have no idea. I'm going to start doing this every single Tuesday. Tuesday's the call-in show, folks. LeBron.
Oh, what
My
up?
dude. What up, dude?
What up, though?
Yeah.
Shit. So what dude was saying earlier about the 90s. Now I'm 24, about to be 25.
Got you.
Shit. I agree with what last dude said. If Josh was on them squads, they win 4 in a row.
Yeah.
Now,
No, dude.
what he's talking about. Oh, go ahead. My bad. Go ahead.
No. It's definitely interesting because like I was born in 91. So like, I mean, I was an infant. So I really didn't get to watch and actually care what was going on my TV screen until I was, 6 or 7 back when we sucked during the drought. I feel like that Mr. West Ashley did make like an interesting point, but he said that back then.
What he said?
Yeah, he said that there was no
horse
roughing the
collar
passer.
tackle.
Yeah, like no
How
roughing
big
the
is
passer.
Josh Allen?
He's massive. He's 6'5".
So what are we talking about?
Oh my God,
what are we talking about?
Dude.
What are we talking about?
He's going crazy, man.
It's not gonna mean nothing. What are we talking about?
Dude, I love that.
Allen's big enough to handle the physicality. That's what gives him the major advantage that Mahomes doesn't have. With Mahomes, if you watch carefully, it's the processing.
Yeah.
There's specific when you're watching, okay, say hike, and everybody's running and shit. It's the way he looks around the field. He's able to spot that guy that can get that sliver of space at that moment. That's what gives him the edge as far as how he, mans the offense.
Yeah.
That's just about it. Patrick Mahomes can scramble, but you see what he's doing now.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to bait you to the sideline. I'm going to make you think I'm going out.
Yeah.
I'm going to run up.
Yeah.
And if you're going to, I'm going to stop on purpose so you hit me.
Yeah.
People say it's smart. That's cheating it, for one.
Yeah, exactly. It's some soft shit.
That's cheating it.
Yeah.
I've heard that the defense was phenomenal, but how we lose 4 Super Bowls?
Yeah. Yeah. No, dude, listen, man. You know what? Like I said, I think that we can finally end up crowning this narrative as long as we end up going out and winning it this year. So have to ask you, right? Like, obviously, like you've been around, like you've been into Bills content. I've seen you in my chat since I think all the way from the beginning.
Ain't I the one that said the Steelers was going to win the division at the beginning of the season? I said 12-5.
You did say that.
Yep.
My boy LeBron knows ball. But all right. So how far, in your opinion, based off of 15 weeks of the NFL season so far, realistically, so do you see this Bills team going if we stay reasonably healthy? Like, where are your expectations after us hanging 48 points on the Lions?
Shit. Well, first of all, that was a 51-28 game. That was not 48-42.
It was garbage time,
that game
bro.
was not
It was all
nearly as
garbage
close.
time bullshit.
And they was
like, I'm
hoeing
double
the
Lions
hell
fans
out of us
bragging
with
on
them damn
garbage time.
calls.
Yeah.
They was hoeing us.
Yeah.
Shit. Well, the Bills, let's see. They ended the undefeated streak of the Chiefs. They ended the Lions' 11-game win streak. So, realistically, yeah, there's optimism, but if I'm being realistic, if the defense can stay healthy, and this is one of my pet peeves, there's like a propensity to play the DBs a little too far back at times.
Oh,
a little too far back.
Soft ass raggedy zone, like defense.
The Cardinals, like if you pay attention, I feel like the only team that played us different was the Rams.
Yeah.
Every other team, they hit us with the same crap, the same little wraparound, the jet sweep. Oh, come get the running back here. Oh, we're gonna make you come catch him in space. You're way back there. It's the same old BS. If the Bills can simply stop having their DBs drop so far back,
press them.
Don't allow too much space.
I get it.
And health, then I'm not sure about the 1 seed, to be honest, because we always know how that goes. But based on the matchup, if it stays the same, beat the Chargers. If I'm looking at it, because I looked at it yesterday, they beat the Chargers. My hunch would be they face the Steelers again.
Yeah.
They beat the Steelers. And at that point, it would either be the Chiefs in the championship game or
Ravens.
the Ravens.
Is what I got, yeah.
The Ravens.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not sure if you've seen WonderKind show, what he just said, like 11 hours ago.
No, I didn't see it.
You should check that out. Apparently, the
Gotcha.
media is robbing Lamar for MVP. It's supposed to be Josh's, and you should check the comment sections. It's wild.
Okay.
But if they get the defense together, honestly, they'll go to the Super Bowl. They're harking on that. They really harking on that week 4. Oh, we beat the Bills. We beat the Bills. Could you beat the Chiefs?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. True.
You couldn't beat them. You got Zay Flowers, you got Mark Andrews, you got Isaiah Likely. They have the best tight end tandem in the league, if we're being honest, but they don't know how to use them.
Yeah.
You brought in Deontay Johnson, right? And you're letting Aguilar get snaps. And you're wondering why Deontay Johnson wants to leave? They don't know how to run an offense at all. It's all the same old crap, same old crap. Heavy run, heavy run, heavy run. Now it's Derrick Henry, but they haven't solved anything. These are the same issues they had the year before. So they're probably going to raven themselves again if we face them.
Going to raven themselves, huh?
Yeah, they're going to raven themselves. Don't forget and also don't forget 2-4 in the playoffs. 5 turnovers, by the way. 5 turnovers.
Mm-hmm.
Versus what? Maybe 1 or 2 from Josh, if I'm not mistaken, and a 5-5 playoff record. So that's just addressing the Ravens.
Yeah.
Y'all can keep harking on week 4. You're 9-5 right now, and you're barely beating Pittsburgh. You're probably going to get swept by Pittsburgh again. Yes, I said it.
There you go.
Now the Chiefs, it's a matter of actually doing it.
Mm-hmm.
You know the Bills have the squad. They got the squad. They got the depth. And I don't know what McDermott was thinking with Ty Johnson, but I would love to see more of that.
Yeah. No,
I would love to see more of that. And Coop didn't even have a catch.
No.
And they hung 48. And there's no complaining on the sidelines.
It's nice having a team that is filled with team players. It's beautiful. But all right, man, listen, I'm going to go ahead and let you go. I appreciate you for tuning on in. I appreciate for the call, my guy, and hopefully you call in next time.
Catch up, Ravens.
Yeah, let's go. All right, listen, guys, here's the deal. I only have time for one more caller, but have no fear. At 5 p.m. EST during my second stream, I'm going to do a full call-in show. So anybody that didn't get a chance to come on the show today, definitely tune in to my second stream. I am going to have a show fully dedicated to call-ins, folks. So make sure that everybody tunes on in after the fact. Kiggs is the final one that comes on in. What's up, dude?
Man, my man, I'm here, man. What's up, man?
That's what I'm talking about, dude.
That's
what I'm talking about. You tell me, what's on your mind today, man? What's on your mind?
I'm 24 too. I'm a young Bills fan also.
Word. So, hell yeah.
I became a Bills fan like 5. My father a Bills fan, so it went down to me. So that's how I went. He saw all the Super Bowls, all the Super Bowl losses. He told me everything, man. He was hurt.
So you know what though? Like you stayed loyal though. Even back when we were absolutely hot garbage.
EJ Manuel, Ryan Fitzpatrick, we had Marshall, all of that. Yeah. Like I fell in love with the Bills when we got Marshawn Lynch. That's when I fell in love with y'all. That's when I'm a true Bills fan.
Yeah.
But if I'm being honest, I think the reason why this team can make it to the Super Bowl this year is because we stopped trying to be like the Chiefs. So let me explain that. If you notice how the Bengals play, the Chiefs and us, they give us a hard time. They give the Chiefs a hard time. Because I feel like we try to be exactly like the Chiefs in certain ways because the Chiefs was beating us. So we try to resemble them a little bit. And the Bengals, they're so aggressive. And when that aggressiveness comes, that conservative, like that fly team, like the Chiefs and the Bills, we was fly, like a fly team. It's hard for us to beat them teams because they're just too damn aggressive to us.
Yeah.
So I felt like Joe Brady and Bean said, you know what, we're going to find our own way. And it kind of took some things from like the 49ers a little bit and certain other teams and said, this is who we are. And this is why we're beating the hell out of teams now. Also, plus, I feel like this is the best Josh Allen. Like he has met his level. If you watch Dragon Ball Z, he reminds me
Final
of
Form.
Yeah, Final Form. Ultra Instinct. It reminds me of it. I seen a tweet that said he started dating Haley and he turned to Goku. I was crying laughing because it looks just like that.
I mean, her head must go crazy.
It must be. Yeah,
Like,
and
there's no way he's been just going Superman for the past couple of weeks. It's got to be correlated.
yeah.
You know?
Now I feel like the defense wise, the dude did say Milano. I feel like Milano is kind of an issue. This is because he's rusty. I don't think he's
Yeah.
bad. No, he's really rusty. He's been gone for that was like 90 something days, something like that. Like it was a long time.
Yeah, dude. Like last year in 2023, so was hurt after week 5, so missed 3/4 of a season. Then an entire offseason, he tore his bicep. Like, dude hasn't played football in like a year and a half.
Yeah.
So I'm not necessarily sure why people are automatically thinking, oh, he's washed up just based off of like 2-3 games, one of which was in the snow, right? So obviously he's not going to go out there and try and fuck himself up anymore.
Yeah.
And then even against the Lions, like, dude, he did get that fumble recovery. So that was a massive play. He did have a couple of solid run stops, and he ended up pulling his groin in the 4th. So I think that people are just kind of like trying to find an enemy. Like last week, for example, I'm sure you saw it in the chat, bro. Like everyone was calling for Ed Oliver's job like 2 weeks ago. And now Ed goes out there and he like had like 10 pressures. He went absolutely insane. He watches X. I promise you, he watches all of the fan interactions. And that game was personal for him on Sunday. I promise you that.
Also, Ed, I think people forget, like, if you know the team, you really love the team, you understand our players. Ed has some games when he can't really, like, he's not really doing much. But when he comes through, he wrecks the game. He wrecks the game. Just like Greg. Greg sometimes has some games when he's not really, like, sometimes the defense is going to be off, sometimes the offense is going to be off. I don't like when Bills fans feel like it's the end of the world. Like, we're going to have bad games. Every team bad game. This is what happens. But we're gonna always be elite. Just like before the season started, and everybody was like, "Oh my God, we lose Poirier, we lost," and everybody. I said we're gonna still be elite. The only thing that I thought was going to be an issue, of course, was Stephon. I was like, that might be a problem. I didn't care about Gabe Davis. I'm like, whatever about him. But I was like, I seen week one.
Davis.
Yeah, I didn't care about it. But I seen week 1. And I said, I saw Keon, even though he didn't do much, but he did a little bit. I said, give him some time. Give Mac Howell some time. Then I said, oh, yeah, this team going to be something serious. It's going to give them time. They're going to start being more serious and stuff like that. And we're going to be an issue. And then watching Josh, he just seemed more happy. He seemed free. Nobody in his ear. And there's no disrespect to Diggs. You're going to always be my favorite wide receiver we ever had. Always be my favorite. But you can see the difference of before and now, and I feel like he has also Josh Allen has finally had the maturity because it's his team now. So the maturity hit. So it's like you can't do nothing against me now. Like I'm gonna beat you. And the thing with the Pat Mahomes thing is, I feel like Pat Mahomes is 1A, and I feel like it's a 1B. Like a Josh Allen is 1B. I don't care about no Lamar. I don't care about no Joe Burrow. Our test shows you everything. You can tell on the field in the game who is better. And Josh Allen does the most craziest things. When Josh Allen rolls out, I just sit back in my chair and wait. I'm like, he's gonna find somebody. I'm never worried. And people feel like it's a problem when he does stuff like that. Like he can get hurt and stuff like that. That dude is a damn truck. He's
6'5", 240, bro.
Yeah, that's what he is. He's like
good.
If Big Ben, Cam Newton, John Elway had a baby, Josh Allen would come out
yeah, dude. Holy hell, man. Holy hell. All right, dude. Last question right before I let you go. All right. Obviously, I know you were probably thrilled that we beat the Detroit Lions on Sunday. Did that change your expectations whatsoever? What do you think is the likelihood of the 1 seed? Have you already accepted we're just going to be getting the 2nd? Talk to me about seeding.
I feel like we're going to be 2nd seed. I really don't want us to get the 1 seed because I feel like teams that get the 1 seed, they kind of get relaxed, just like the Ravens last year. I think
they get rusty.
Yeah, you know? I want the 2nd seed because I want us to be on a hot streak. I feel like we're going to make it to Super Bowl this year because these are the reasons why. Because my girlfriend's a Bills fan now. She loves the Bills. And she just started really watching it. And she just was watching Josh Allen play. And then her mom was looking, like the play when Josh ran through the Keon Coleman. And she's like, oh, that's so beautiful. And I'm like, yeah, and when people that don't watch football and they say something about that player, you serious? So I'm like, yeah, we're gonna either the Super Bowl or the AFC Championship. But I want to beat the Chiefs, but I want to play the Ravens. I'm from Baltimore, so I did.
You want revenge? So you want revenge?
I went to the game, so I was there, and we lost, and everybody laughed, and I'm like, whatever. But I want them because I live here. My friends are Ravens fans. And I'm like, bro, y'all just don't know what we gonna do to y'all when all this come together. It's over, y'all. It's over. It's over.
That's what I'm talking about, man. Kiggs, I appreciate.
Also, I want to tell you on Wednesday, I'm gonna pay for the subscription.
Yeah.
Remember, I know Benford. I'm gonna try to get Benford on here for you.
My guy.
I got you.
Dude, listen, man. If you can get Benford on this show or the AFC's roundtable, let me know. I sincerely appreciate that. Dude, thank you so much for being a loyal follower, viewer, man. You're welcome on anytime. Go Bills, and we'll be in touch. See you, brother. Right, take care, man. I love this segment. All right, guys. Like I said, later stream right before well, actually, never mind. For some reason, I thought it was Wednesday. I'm going to have a full call-in segment at my afternoon stream. So if you were backstage and didn't have an opportunity of coming on, have no fear. Full show is going to be a call-in section. So go on ahead and subscribe and turn on those bell notifications if you want to tune on in. Love each and every single one of you. Thank you for smashing the like button 117 times. And I will see you later for BetUS TV's The Huddle. Deuces.